Good afternoon, everyone. This is Ms. Scott, and I'm going to be doing a quick overview of Excel and Google Sheets. So, both Microsoft Excel and Google Sheets are spreadsheet software programs. When I say spreadsheet, a spreadsheet is a file made up of rows and columns that can help us to easily sort data, arrange data, and calculate numerical data. So, most of the time when you're using Excel, you're using it for some type of financial sheet, something that involves some type of math. So, both Google Sheets and Microsoft Excel allow you to be able to organize information in a table structure. And it's made up of rows and columns. So on the spreadsheet, your columns will go vertically down the page and they are labeled with letters. I'll show you that in a minute. And then the spreadsheet rows actually go horizontally across the page and they're labeled with numbers. So, just looking at some of the terminology in a spreadsheet, you will hear the word cell. So, cell is the intersection of a column and a row, otherwise, the squares that you'll see on the spreadsheet. So, cell names, when we refer to a cell name, it's going to consist of the column letter that we're in and the row number, so that intersection. So, for instance, cell A1 would be the intersection of column A and row 1. When we look at the cells on a spreadsheet, they can contain labels, formulas, or values. Those are the three types of data that can be contained in a cell. So labels are any text or a combination of numbers and text. So usually it's a heading or an explanation of the cell when you're doing a spreadsheet. Value is going to be any type of number. So that could be both a whole number, a fractional number, a decimal number, any type of number. And then a formula is where we can actually put in a mathematical expression or function. So Excel or Google Sheets can actually do any type of math for us. When you are in a spreadsheet editing a cell, the cell that you're working in is always called your active cell. And the way that you'll know which active cell you're in is that it will be highlighted when you're working on it. So let's go in and take a look at a spreadsheet just so we can see how it works. So here's my Google Drive here. I'm going to show you what Google Sheets looks like. So I'm going to go in, open up a new Google Sheets. And here's our spreadsheet here. So just like I was talking about earlier, our columns go vertically down the page and each column is labeled with a letter from A going all the way up through. And then all of our rows here go horizontally down our page and they are labeled with numbers. So here's the numbers on the left side of the screen here. And if you can see right now, I am in cell A1 because here's column A, there's row 1. And then we see that blue highlight that lets me know that's the active cell that I'm working on right now. So just to give you a quick overview of just something really simple we can put in Excel, I'll just do a simple example. So maybe let's do a timesheet. So I'm going to put in the work week. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then I'm going to put in the names of some employees. So I'm going to put in Sam, Bob, Amy, and Sarah. And then I'm going to put in how many hours they worked each day. So I'm just going to kind of arbitrarily put in some hours here for each of these people. Let's see, 8. She just worked 8 every day, and then we'll put 6.75, 4.25, 5.5, 6, and 8. Okay. So say this was my timesheet for my employees. So this is all the hours they've worked for the week. I could go down here and make a total line. And if I wanted to find out the total amount of hours each employee worked for the week, I can put a formula in to add that up. So there's a few different ways I could do it. So when you're using a spreadsheet in order to do any type of math, you always start it with an equal sign. That lets the program know that you're about to do some type of mathematical computation. So a few different ways I could do it. I could put in an equal sign and I could physically type in every single number that I want to add up. So in this case, I'm typing in all of Sam's hours here for each day that I want to add together. Once I'm finished, I can press enter. Excel adds it up for me. So that's one way I could do it. So for Bob, I'm going to do it a different way. So this time I'm going to put an equal sign, and instead I'm going to highlight the cells that I want to add together. So if you notice, as I highlighted, it actually puts the cell names in my formula here. I'm going to press enter, and I don't know what happened here because I got an error. So let me go back. Oh, so I know what I did here. So good example of how you can make an error. So what I did here is I actually highlighted these cells, but I didn't actually put any like math for what to do with it. So that's why I got that error. So let me go back. So in this case, I actually need to highlight each cell separately, and I need to put my plus sign in between so that it knows that I want to add. So I can go in this way, put a plus sign in between each, and I can add up the hours that way. And then the other way I can do it is by using a function. So we have a function in Excel called the sum function, and that function just says to add up whatever cells I tell you to add up. So I'm going to put an equal sign. I'm going to put the word sum. And then in parentheses, I can highlight the cells that I want to sum. So I'm going to highlight these 5 cells. I need to close up my parentheses. So it now says take the sum of cells D2 up to D6. Press enter. There we go. So I'm not going to get too much more in depth than that, but that's kind of the basics of what spreadsheets can do. Obviously, there's way, way more that you can do with a spreadsheet, but that's just kind of the basic gist of it. So hopefully that gave you a really nice basis for understanding how spreadsheets work. This is Google Sheets that I'm using, but if you have Microsoft Excel, it works the exact same way. So either one is fine. Microsoft Excel, obviously you have to buy the program enabled in order to use it. But Google Sheets is online for free. So if you have a Google account, you can just go in, or you can create a Google account and you have access to this absolutely free on the web. So hopefully that gave you some information that will be helpful as you're working through your assignments. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to send me a chat message or an email. Look forward to hearing from you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.